I wanna hear everything you say, even the things you're afraid to tell. Yeah. Even the criticism, even the doubt. I wanna hear it all, the good and the foul. Because your words matter to me, yeah. Whether they lift me or they break. I wanna listen to every syllable, every risk that you take. Most people run from the hard truths, from the words that cut and sting. But I wanna hear it all from you, everything that you bring. Even if it's a critique, even if it hurts my pride, I wanna hear every word you speak. I want you by my side. I've learned that real love isn't about only hearing the sweet. It's about being brave enough to listen to the complete truth of what someone feels, even when it's hard to take. But with you I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Your words are sacred to me, whether they're gentle or they're sharp. I wanna hear your truth, I wanna hear your heart. Don't silence yourself around me, don't hold back what you need to say. I wanna hear everything, even on the hardest day. I think about the courage, yeah, that it takes to speak the truth, to tell someone you love, yeah, the hard things, the proof, hey, that you care enough to risk their temporary hurt. But I wanna hear it all, I wanna understand your words. Your criticism is a gift, yeah, because it shows you care. You wouldn't risk our peace, yeah, if you didn't want me aware of the places where I'm failing, yeah, the ways I need to grow. I wanna hear everything, I wanna let you know. Maybe that's what a real connection is, being able to speak the truth without fear of judgment, without fear of proof that the other person will abandon or will turn away in shame. I wanna hear everything, even the hard things you claim. You can tell me I hurt you, you can tell me I'm wrong, you can tell me the difficult things that you've held inside so long. I wanna hear it all, because I wanna truly know the real you, the honest you, not the version you show. So I wanna hear everything, even the parts that sting, and the criticism and doubt, all the feelings you bring. You don't have to filter, you don't have to hold back. I want your complete truth, even my ego or my comfort. I wanna hear it true, because your words matter to me, everything that comes from you. I wanna be the person that you can speak freely with, that you can tell the hard truth without fear of conflict. Ooh, maybe that's the deepest love, not only hearing what's kind, but being brave enough to listen to what's on your mind, even when it's critical, even when it's hard to hear. Ooh, I want your complete honesty, I want you to feel safe here. You don't have to protect me from the truth of what you feel. I wanna hear everything. I won't keep it real. Oh, your words are the language that I wanna understand. Every meaning, every tone, every reach of your hand. Tone you're worrying. Every tone, every reach of your hand. So I wanna hear everything you say. I wanna hear everything you say. I wanna hear. I wanna hear everything you say. Even if it's a critique, even if it stings, I wanna hear the truth. Everything you bring, I wanna hear everything you say. Oh, your words are my language, your voice is my home. I wanna hear it all. Oh, no, 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 no. I wanna hear everything. Even the hard things, your words are sacred. I wanna hear your complete truth.
When you said step back, I heard come closer instead. When you said need space, I heard need you in my bed. Maybe I'm a fool for mistranslating your words, but what if my misreading is actually what you preferred? Can I choose to misunderstand the distance that you claim? Can I take your words of caution and turn them into flame? What if you step back? It's just a step before you run closer into my arms. What if I'm the one I know that you meant for me to give you room, but I heard an invitation to brighten up your gloom. Maybe I'm delusional in the way I read your signs, but what if my misunderstanding crosses all the lines between caution and courage, between distance and near? What if when you said go, you meant stay right here? I wanna believe that my mistranslation is right, that your words are stepping back, mean you'll hold me through the night. I think about the risk of reading you this way, of choosing hope over caution, of choosing to stay. When you asked for distance, I heard come back home. When you said you needed space, I heard please don't be alone. Maybe I'm a fool for translating love this way, but what if my misreading changes what you'll say? What if by being brave, by choosing to move near, I'm actually understanding what you need to hear? Maybe that's what faith is, choosing the hopeful red of someone's cryptic words of what they really need. You said step away, but I heard step inside. You said create distance, but I heard open wide. My mistranslation might be the truest thing that I've ever understood of what your words bring. What if the space you asked for was to feel you drawing near? What if your step back was inviting me here? So I'm choosing to misread your careful words of caution. I'm choosing to translate your distance as a fortress that you're building to protect the way that you feel. I'm choosing to believe my mistranslation is real. When you say we need space, I heard we need closeness instead. When you said step away, I heard hold me in your bed. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm willing to take the bet that my mistranslation of you is the greatest thing yet. Maybe that's the bravest thing, to misunderstand with hope, to read between the lines and use love as your rope. You ask for distance, but I'm translating it as near. You ask for space, but I'm translating it as here. My mistranslation might cost me everything, but what if it's the only language that makes your heart sing? What if your step back is actually moving toward me? What if my mistranslation is finally setting you free? So I'm mistranslating your words as they want. Mistranslation of your mistakes. When you said step back, I heard come near. Your caution became invitation. I'm choosing to hear. Mistranslation, I believe that your words are stepping back, mean you're asking me to see. I'm mistranslating. Your distance is closeness, your space as an invitation to finally be with you. When I see the ocean, I think of you, the depth. When I see the stars, oh, I see a light burning in my chest. Every metaphor I find leads back to your name. Every comparison I make is just another way to claim that you're the reason that my world makes sense. The sun is you, the moon is you, everything is your essence. I can't describe the world without describing you first. Every simile, every metaphor is quenching my thirst. I notice it everywhere, in the things I say. Every poem I write is just you in different ways. The rain reminds me of your touch, the wind carries your name. Every natural thing becomes a metaphor for the same. You've infiltrated my language, my way of seeing the world. Every comparison I make, you're always the pearl. I can't look at anything without thinking of you. Every metaphor, every symbol points straight to you, true. I think about the danger of loving someone this way, where every word becomes a confession, come what may. Hey, I can't speak without you bleeding through my words. Every metaphor is a prayer, the most honest thing you've heard. Coffee tastes like mornings with you. Music sounds like your heartbeat. Every sensory experience is you, complete and sweet. I've lost the ability to describe anything alone. Everything in my world is just you in different tones. Maybe that's what love is, consuming your entire language, where every word you speak, every thought, every arrangement points back to one person, becomes a map to their soul. Every metaphor is a breadcrumb, leading me home as a whole. Ooh, you become my only frame of reference. Every poem, every song, every single preference, it's just another way to say your name. Every metaphor is proof that you're my only aim.
Every simile I make is a love letter to you. Every metaphor is evidence of how I see things true. Nothing exists in my world without you as the measure. Every word is a gift, every comparison is treasure. I speak in metaphors because direct words aren't enough to explain how completely you've become my world, my stuff. Every poetic device, every figure of speech is just another way to say you're within reach. Maybe that's the most honest kind of love I can declare, when every metaphor I use shows exactly how I care. You're not just in my heart, you're in every word I speak. You're the reason my language has become so unique. Every analogy points to you, every comparison leaves the same. My entire way of seeing has become just your name. I can't escape you, even in my speech. Every metaphor proves you're all I can reach. So every metaphor points to you. Every metaphor points to you. Every metaphor points to you. In every word I speak, you're hidden in the language. You're all that I see. Every metaphor points to you. My entire world is you. Every simile, every symbol, everything leads to you. True. Every metaphor points back to you. My entire language is just you in every hue.
For the first time in my life, I don't wanna speak. I wanna sit in this moment and let it be complete. Words feel like a betrayal of something too pure to say. I just wanna feel you in this quiet way. Everything I could express would diminish what is. This sacred silence between us is the greatest bliss. I've always needed to talk, to fill the empty space, but now I just want silence to see you face to face. I know this is different, the way I wanna be, not performing or expressing, just you and just me, in the quiet understanding that needs no words at all. I wanna surrender language and heed the silent call. There's so much I could say about this moment we share, but the words would diminish the weight of us being here. So I choose silence. For the first time I'm choosing to let the moment speak without me losing. I think about how strange it is, this desire to be quiet, when words have been my weapon, my way to riot against loneliness and distance. But with you I'm finding that the deepest connection happens in the silent binding. I don't need to tell you that I love you deeply. I don't need to explain how you changed me completely. The silence says it all, no words ever could. I just wanna feel this like I always should have. Maybe that's what intimacy is, being comfortable in the quiet, where you don't need to perform, where you don't need to try it. Words become a barrier, they become a wall, but silence is connection, the most sacred of all. I wanna stay right here in this moment of being, not saying, not doing, just feeling and seeing you completely present, me completely still. This is the language that satisfies my will. So I'm choosing not to speak for the very first time. I'm choosing just to feel this moment so sublime. Words would only break the spell that we're under. I wanna keep this sacred, this silence, this wonder. I don't need to articulate what we both already know. I don't need to explain the depth of this glow. The silence between us is the language I speak. Is saying everything that I need. Maybe that's the most honest way I can be with you. Not speaking, not explaining, just being completely true to the moment we're in, to the feeling inside. I wanna stay right here with you by my side, in the quiet understanding that we don't need words. Every heartbeat is a sentence, every breath is heard. The silence is our language, the most perfect speech. I just wanna feel you and keep you in reach. So for the first time, I don't wanna speak. For the first time, I don't wanna speak. For the first time, I don't wanna speak. I just wanna feel this moment. The silence is enough. I don't need your talking. For the first time, I don't wanna speak. Words would only break this sacred silence. I just wanna stay awake. For the first time, I'm not speaking, I'm just feeling. The silence is our language, the most sacred revealing. I made a decision to put your name at the center, not as an obsession, but as a deliberate enter into a different kind of living, where you are the anchor, where everything else rotates around your proper answer. You're not a phase or a feeling, you're not a temporary state. You're the proper noun, the center of my fate. I've chosen to structure my entire world around you. Not because I'm losing myself, but because I'm finally true. Ooh. It's different from before, when I gave too much control. This is a conscious decision to make you my central goal. Not in a way that diminishes who I am at my core, but in a way that says you're what I'm living for. Every decision I make considers where you stand. Every plan I construct has your name in my hand. You're the proper noun, the most important word in the sentence of my life. You're the most important word. think about the courage that it took to choose to put someone at the center when everything I could lose. But I'm not afraid anymore because I made the choice. You are my life's proper noun, you are my central voice. Everything orbits around you, not because I have no choice, but because I've decided that you deserve this voice. In the architecture of my life, you're the load-bearing wall. You're the reason everything stands, you're the reason I don't fall. Maybe that's what commitment is, making someone the center. Not losing yourself, but choosing to let them completely enter into the very structure of how you organize your entire existence under the skies. You're the proper noun, the name that matters most. I've made you the center of every single post. Every thought, every feeling, every dream I pursue has your name written through it. Everything leads back to you, so I'm stating it clearly. I made you the center, not because I'm weak, but because I'm entering a new kind of strength that comes from choosing to build your name into my foundation, not losing my identity, but enriching it with the presence of you. You're the proper noun, the truest thing that's true. Everything I do, everything I am is informed by the fact that you're my central plan. Maybe that's the greatest love, not losing yourself but choosing to let someone be a center, because you can't stop refusing to acknowledge their importance to your entire world. You're the proper noun around which my life is curled. I've made the decision with full awareness and care to put your name at the center, to show that you're there, not as an accident, but as an intentional choice. You're the reason everything makes sense to my voice. So I made you the center of my life. I made you the center. You're the proper noun, the most important word. In the architecture of my life, you're what I've chosen to build. I made you the center. Every decision, every dream, every goal has your name at the center. You've become my soul. Proper noun of my life. Everything orbits around you. You're my central strife resolve. I see the tremor in your eyes before you ever say a word. I know what you're feeling without needing to be heard. There's a language in your body that speaks louder than your voice. I read you like a poem without you having a choice. The way your jaw tightens when you're holding something in, the way your fingers move when anxiety begins. I know these signs by heart, I've studied them so well. Your body tells me stories that your mouth won't tell. I notice when you're scared, long before you admit. The slight shift in your shoulders, the way you start to sit. I can read the fear written across your face before you even realize that it's taking its place. Your hands speak a language that I've come to understand. The tremor means you're nervous, the stillness means you've planned. I know you without words, I see you without speech. Your silent language is clearer than anything you could teach. I think about the privilege of reading you this way, of understanding your body more than words could say. The flutter of your eyelid tells me you're thinking deep. The way you hold your breath shows me secrets you keep. I know when you're happy before your lips can smile. I see it in your eyes in that telltale style. I know when you're struggling before you break and fall. I read your silent language, it's the clearest of them all. Maybe that's what intimacy is, being able to read the unsaid things in someone, the things they truly need. I know you without hearing, I see you without words. Your body is a conversation, the most honest I've ever heard. The tremor in your eyes is a confession in itself. Your fingers' subtle movements show what you keep on the shelf. I've learned your silent language better than my own. Your body speaks to me in a way that feels like home. So I'm reading you right now, I see what you're not saying. The way your chest is rising tells me what you're praying. I don't need you to speak, I can read your every move. Your tremor, your stillness tells me the truth. I know you in silence, in the spaces between words. Your body language is poetry, the most beautiful I've heard. I see the tremor in your eyes, and I know exactly what it means. You're safe with me in this silent knowing dream. Maybe that's the greatest intimacy, not needing words at all. Just reading someone's body, understanding their call. The tremor in your eyes is a confession of the soul. I know you completely, you've made me whole. Your silent language speaks louder than any shout. I read you like a book, there's no doubt, without a doubt. The way you move, the way you breathe tells me everything I need. I know you without hearing, you've succeeded. So I know you succeed in a word. I know without hearing, the tremor in your eyes tells me every free. Your body speaks a language that's clearer than anything. I know without hearing, I read you like a poem every day. Your silent language shows me what words could never say. I know without hearing, the tremor means you care. Your body tells me stories that show how much you're there. Goodbye isn't a period, it's not a cleaning. It's a sentence left incomplete, story I can't comprehend. You're the words I can no longer figure out how to read. A paragraph of meaning that I'll never truly need. We were a conversation
that was just getting deep. But now you're a language that I can't decode in sleep. I'm left with fragments of what we try to say, a sentence that breaks mid-word and never finds its way. Trying to interpret the words that we left unsaid, but the grammar doesn't make sense now that you're gone instead. You're a sentence without punctuation, a thought I can't complete. The meaning is lost somewhere in the silence of retreat. Goodbye doesn't close the book, it leaves it open wide. A narrative unfinished with too many things to hide. I'm trying to make sense of the story we began, but the ending leaves me stranded in a language I don't understand. Whoa, yeah. I think about the moment when the sentence fell apart, how we were communicating a feeling from the heart. But now those words don't mean the things they used to say. You're a language I once spoke that's fading every day. The grammar of our love has become unintelligible. Your name is a word that's become uninterpretable. I'm left decoding shadows of what we used to be, a sentence with no ending, an answer without a key. Maybe that's what goodbye is, not a full stop but a fade, a sentence that becomes impossible to upgrade. We were a story being written, but the pen stopped mid-flow. Now I'm left with fragments that I'll never fully know. You're the words I memorized that have lost their meaning. You're the sentence that broke apart while I was still believing in the possibility that we could make sense again. But goodbye left me stranded without a way to comprehend. So I'm grieving not just you, but the language that we shared. The way we communicated, that was beyond compare. Goodbye took more than just your presence from my life. It took the words we spoke and left me with the strife of trying to interpret a love that's incomplete, a sentence without ending where you and I would meet. I'm left with pieces of a language I can't read. You're the word I can't decode, the answer to my need. Maybe that's the saddest part, not the goodbye itself, but the loss of understanding what we meant to ourselves. You're a sentence left unfinished, a story with no end, a language I once fluently spoke that I can't comprehend. I'll spend forever trying to make sense of what we were, but goodbye has made you a word I can no longer purr. The grammar of our love has become alien to me. You're the sentence I can't interpret, the mystery I'll never see. So goodbye isn't a period. Goodbye isn't a period. It's a sentence I can't read, a language left incomplete, the meaning lost I'm in need. Goodbye isn't a period. It's unfinished and unclear. You're the words I can't decode, the sentence I still feel. Goodbye isn't a period. It's a sentence with no end. You're the language I can't speak, the words I'll never comprehend. Ooh.
Goodbye isn't a period, it's not a clean end. It's a sentence left incomplete, a story I can't comprehend. You're the words I can no longer figure out how to read, a paragraph of meaning that I'll never truly need. We were a conversation that was just getting deep, but now you're a language that I can't decode and sleep. I'm left with fragments of what we try to say, a sentence that breaks mid-word and never finds its way. I keep trying to interpret the words that we left unsaid, but the grammar doesn't make sense now that you're gone instead. You're a sentence without punctuation, a thought I can't complete. The meaning is lost somewhere in the silence of retreat. Goodbye doesn't close the book, it leaves it open wide. A narrative unfinished, too many things to hide. I'm trying to make sense of the story we began, but the ending leaves me stranded in a language I don't understand. I think about the moment when the sentence fell apart, how we were communicating, a feeling from the heart. But now those words don't mean the things they used to say. You're a language I once spoke that's fading every day. The grammar of our love has become unintelligible. Your name is a word that's become uninterpretable. I'm left decoding shadows of what we used to be, a sentence with no ending, an answer without a key. Maybe that's what goodbye is, not a full stop but a fade, a sentence that becomes impossible to upgrade. We were a story being written, but the pen stopped mid-flow. Now I'm left with fragments that I'll never fully know. You're the words I memorized that have lost their meaning. You're the sentence that broke apart while I was still believing in the possibility that we could make sense again. But goodbye left me stranded without a way to comprehend. So I'm grieving not just you, but the language that we shared, the way we communicated, that was beyond compare. Goodbye took more than just your presence from my life. It took the word we spoke and left me with the strife, trying to interpret love that's incomplete, a sentence without ending where you and I would meet. I'm left with pieces of a language I can't read. You're the word I can't decode, the answer to my need. Maybe that's the saddest part, not the goodbye itself, but the loss of understanding what we meant to ourselves. You're a sentence left unfinished, a story with no end, a language I once fluently spoke that I can't comprehend. I'll spend forever trying to make sense of what we were, but goodbye has made you a word I can no longer purr. The grammar of our love has become alien to me. You're the sentence I can't interpret, the mystery I'll never see. So goodbye isn't a period. Goodbye isn't a series. Goodbye isn't a period, it's a sentence I can't read, a language left incomplete, the meaning lost, I'm in need. Goodbye isn't a period, it's unfinished and unclear. You're the words I can't decode, the sentence I still feel. It's a sentence with no end. You're the language I can't speak, the words I'll never comprehend. Forget is the cruelest word, the harshest command. You might as well ask me to forgive my own hand. To erase you from my memory would be to erase myself. You're woven into my story, embedded on my shelf. How can you ask me to unknow what I know, to unfeel what I felt, to let the memories go? Forget is impossible, it's asking me to die. You're the oxygen I'm breathing, how can I say goodbye? I've tried to obey that cruelest of commands, to push you from my mind, to unclench my hands. But you're in every song, every word I say. You're the reason I wait, you're the price I pay. Forgetting you would mean forgetting parts of me, the version of myself that learned how to see through your eyes with your heart, the growth that you inspired. To forget you completely would leave me expired. I think about the cruelty of that simple word. Forget, as if memories can be unheard, as if love can be erased like it never was, as if the impact you made can dissolve without a fuss. I won't obey that command, I refuse to comply, because forgetting you would be a living lie. You're written in my cells, etched into my bones. I can't forget you, even if I'm alone. Maybe that's the cruelest thing, asking someone to forget someone who changed them, who they can't regret. You can't unknow someone, you can't unfeel their touch. Forget is the cruelest command, because it's asking too much. I'll carry you with me, whether you want it or not. In every breath, every heartbeat, in every thought I've got. I won't forget you, I can't, even if I try. Your memory is my companion, you're the one thing I can find. So I won't obey that cruelest stuff, please. I won't pretend that you don't live with ease. In every corner of my mind, in every beat of my heart, you're the music in my silence, you're my greatest work of art. Forget is impossible, it's asking me the impossible, to erase the person who made me possible. I'll carry your memory like a sacred weight. I won't forget you, not now, not ever, not late. Maybe that's the truth that nobody tells you. When you love someone, you can't just undo. They become part of your DNA, part of your very being. To forget them completely would mean unseeing the person you became because of their presence. Forget is the cruelest, most impossible sentence. I won't say I'll forget, because that would be a lie to us both and a lie to me. So I won't forget, I can't, even if I try. Forget is the cruelest command. You can't ask me to unknow what
easily. Forget is the cruelest word you could say. I won't obey, I'll carry you every day. Were we always speaking different languages from the start? Did we ever truly understand each other's beating heart? Your grammar was past tense while I was future bright. You were speaking in conditionals while I saw forever inside. Maybe our language barriers were there from the very beginning. I was conjugating love while you were still spinning. In the realm of maybe and almost, in the world of not quite yet. Were we always incompatible? Or did we just forget? I wonder if the problem was our grammar from the start. You spoke in questions, I spoke from the heart. You were conditional and careful, I was absolute and sure. We were speaking different dialects of love's unwritten lore. Your sentences were short, mine were long and deep. You were brief and distant, while I promised to keep. The grammar of our love was never a line. You were writing in pencil, while I was writing for time. More ocean. I think about the moment when I realized the truth, that we weren't speaking the same language of you. Your verbs were hesitant, mine were passionate and bold. We were writing different stories in different dialects told. Maybe from the beginning our grammar was all wrong. I was singing opera while you were singing a song in a minor key. Carefully, we were never meant to mesh. Our language patterns were never fresh. Maybe that's the lesson that I had to learn. Some people speak a different linguistic turn. Your grammar was doubt, mine was blind belief. You were asking for space, I was seeking relief. In your arms and your presence, we were never going to align. Your language was leaving, mine was always trying to divine a future that worked, a way to make sense of why our grammatical differences left me so tense. So maybe our grammar was different from day one. Maybe we were never speaking the same language fun. Maybe that's the reason why we never fit. Our syntax was incompatible, our grammar didn't sit. I was conjugating forever, you were stuck in the day. I was speaking in absolutes, you were learning to say. Maybe, perhaps, and possibly we were never gonna work. Our linguistic differences were our greatest quirk. Maybe that's the saddest truth. Not that we didn't love, but that love couldn't overcome the language we spoke thereof. You were fluent in distance, I was fluent in near. We were speaking in different tongues that couldn't interfere. I'll never speak your language the way you needed me to. You'll never understand the grammar of my truth. We were always incompatible in the most from that very first day. So our grandma was
always different.
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 Your syntax and mine never aligned. You were speaking distance, I was seeking to bind. Our grandma was always different. Maybe that's why we failed. Our linguistic differences meant our love couldn't be unveiled. Our grandma was
Always different.
our grandma was
Always different.
our grandma was
Always different.
our grandma was.
Always different.
I've looked through every dictionary, searched for a word that fits. The sadness without your presence, the weight of this abyss. Melancholy feels too gentle, grief too categorized, heartbreak too predictable for what I'm feeling inside. There's no word in any language that can capture this void, this specific kind of emptiness that only you destroy. I've read through every thesaurus, try to find the right phrase, but nothing comes close to the darkness of these days. Yeah. Every word I find feels shallow, every definition too small. This sadness is so vast, no vocabulary can appall. The weight of missing you, the ache of your absence, can't be defined in textbooks, can't be found in any sentence. I'm searching for a language that doesn't exist yet. Words haven't been invented for this kind of regret. The specific pain of knowing that you existed and now you're gone can't be explained in any definition. It's a grief all its own. Hey. Ooh. Hey. Ooh. I think about how helpless I feel with my words. I wanna describe this sadness, but no explanation is heard that truly captures the way you left me hollow. There's a depth to this pain that language can't follow. Dictionaries feel useless when trying to name this particular flavor of loneliness and shame. The sadness of a ghost, of someone still alive, the ache of their existence, knowing they won't survive. Yeah, maybe that's the cruelest part, being unable to express the depth of what I'm feeling in any kind of address. Language fails me, words abandon me. I'm standing in this sadness with no vocabulary. The pain is so specific, so uniquely about you, that no general definition could ever ring true. You were my person, and now you're my absence. There's no word for that aching, no phrase for this cadence. So I stopped searching for the perfect word. I've accepted that this sadness can't be said or heard in any language that exists, in any dictionary found. This grief is too particular, too deep, too profound. The sadness of your absence is beyond definition. It's a state of being, not a linguistic position. I'm living in this nameless, this indescribable pain. The weight of missing you in sunshine and in rain. Maybe that's the truth, that some feelings are too big, too specific, too personal for language to unlatch the rig. The sadness without you is my own private language, a grief so unique that words become abandoned. I'll never find the right words to explain what I'm going through, because the sadness isn't universal, it's just about losing you. Every dictionary fails me, every thesaurus comes up short. This particular aching needs its own new source, so no word can describe this sadness without you. The sadness without you. No dictionary can define the sadness. Every word feels too small for the ache of your absence, the vastness of it all. No dictionary can define the sadness. Language abandons me. No particular grief, this indescribable misery. No dictionary can define the sadness that I hold. The pain of losing you, it's too vast to be told. My truth was always hiding between the lines I wrote, in the space between the words, in every silent note. I was screaming in the margins, bleeding in the gaps, but you only read the surface, never saw what laid on the map. My real words were hidden in the things I didn't say, in the pauses and the silences, in the spaces in between days. I was writing you my heartbreak in invisible ink, but you never stopped to read between the lines today. I left breadcrumbs in my language, clues hidden in plain sight, but you read only what was written, never saw my inner light. My love was in the subtext, my pain in what I said, but you never took the time to read what my heart read. The things I couldn't speak were written all around, in my eyes, in my
silence in the spaces you never found. I was confessing in between every word that I could say, but you never read between the lines, not once, not one day. I think about the cruelty of being this invisible, screaming in the margins and having it be dismissible. I was pouring out my soul in every space between, but you only read the text, never saw what I had been. My desperate pleas were hid in the things left unsaid, my longing in the silence, my love in the white of my bed. I was writing between the lines, a confession of my need, but you never stopped to wonder what the spaces meant to me. Maybe that's the saddest thing, being misread so completely, not because they don't understand, but because they don't see. To read what's beneath, to look deeper than the words. I was screaming in the margins, and you never even heard. My truth was always there, waiting to be found in the empty space between the silence and the sound. But you were content with only what was written. You never read between my lines. I was so smitten, so I've stopped leaving messages in the space between. I've stopped writing in the margins for you interpret the scene, because you never read them, not once in all this time. You only read the surface, never decoded my rhyme. My heart was in the margins, my soul in the space between, my love in the invisible and all the unsaid things. But you walked past all it, never once stopped to see the truth I was writing in the gaps for you to be. Maybe that's the lesson, that some people don't look deep. Some people read only words, not the secrets that you keep. I was writing you my truth in every hidden way, but you never read between the lines, not once, not today. I was screaming in the silence, burning in the white space, but you never saw me, you never read my face. My truth was always there, buried in between, but you were blind to it, to the lines you never seen, so you never read between my lines. You never read between my lines. My truth was hidden in the space, but you only read the words, never saw my real face. You never read between my lines. I was screaming in the margins, but you walked right past, never saw my heart bargains. Wanna read between my lines, my truth was invisible, and you never saw the signs.
What language will reach you? What words will make you hear that I'm begging you to come back, that I need you near? I've tried English, I've tried silence, I've tried screaming in the rain, but nothing seems to penetrate the distance and your pain. How do I say come back in a way that will break through? What dialect of longing will finally reach to you? I've written it in letters, sung it in my songs, but the message never seems to where you belong. Hey, hey. Maybe I need to speak a different kind of tongue. Maybe I need to find a language we've never sung. I've tried love's vocabulary, but you didn't understand. I've tried desperation, but you won't take my hand. What magic words exist that would change your mind? What incantation will make you turn around and find your way back to me? Back to what we were. What language reaches a heart that won't conquer? I think about the languages I haven't yet tried, the ways I could express how empty I am inside. Without you here beside me, without your presence to stay, what words would make you listen? What would make you stay? I've tried every language that my heart can speak, but none of them seem to make you come back to me. Maybe I need to invent a new way to plead, a language made of longing that fulfills your need. Maybe there's no language that can reach your heart. Maybe I'm speaking a language set apart from the one you understand, from the one you need to hear. Maybe no matter how I plead, you won't come near. But I have to try, I have to find a way to make you understand that you're my only way. Back to myself, back to home, back to who I was before. What language will reach you and make you come back for more? So I'll keep searching for the right way to say, come back to me, don't walk away. Maybe it's in poetry, maybe it's in song, maybe it's in silence where we both belong. I'll speak every language, every tongue I know. I'll do whatever it takes to make you come back home. What language reaches a heart that's turned away? I'll find it, I'll speak it, whatever it takes to say. Maybe the language that reaches you best is the one I've been speaking all along in my chest. The language of my heartbreak, the dialect of my pain. Maybe if you heard how much I need you to remain, you'd understand the urgency, the desperation in my voice. Come back to me, let me not make this choice alone. Without you, without your love to guide, what language will reach you and bring you back inside? So what lady will reach your ears? What language will reach
every way I know. Come back to me. Come back to me.
Yeah. Love isn't finding someone who speaks the way you do. Love is deciding to learn their language too, to study how they think, to understand their ways, to commit to fluency in them for all your days. I've decided to learn you like I learn a brand new tongue, with patience, with intention, with the faith that I've begun. A journey that's forever, of understanding and of grace. Love is learning how you speak and choosing to embrace. It's not about agreement, it's about deep translation, understanding what you mean beyond simple conversation. The way you express love might be different from my own, but love is learning to make that your home. I'm studying your silence, I'm learning your cry, the way you show affection, the reason you sigh. Love is committing to speak a language new, to dedicate myself to understanding you. Choosing to learn your way of communicating, your way of turn from sadness into hope, from anger into peace. Love is deciding that this learning won't cease. You have your own dialect, your own unique way of expressing what you feel, of what you need to say. And I'm committed to become fluent in your language, your heart, your beautiful skin. Maybe that's what love is, not perfection but devotion, not finding your match but making your motion, your language, your truth, your way of the world. Love is learning until I'm fully unfurled in your language, in your culture, in the way that you are. I'm dedicating myself to understanding by far the depths of your meaning, the nuance of your heart. Love is learning you right from the start. Yeah. Your unique language today, I'm committing to you in every possible way. Not just in words, but in action and deed, to understand your language, to fulfill your need. Love is the decision to become fluent in you, to study your patterns, to understand what's true, to learn how you love, how you grieve, how you grow, and to speak back to you in the way that you know. Maybe that's the greatest love, not finding perfect sync, but deciding that you're worth learning, even on the brink of not understanding fully, of making mistakes alone, but staying committed to learning your song. I'm learning your language, I'm studying your ways, dedicating my life to understanding your days. Love is this commitment to translate your heart and to speak back to you right from the start. So love is
love is learning your language every day, studying your heart until I find a way. Love is love. There's no perfect translation for what I feel inside. No words in any language could accurately describe the depth of my devotion, the truth within my chest. But what I have is genuine, and that's more than the rest. I don't need perfect words
To express what's true,
I don't need flawless sentences
to show I love you.
My sincerity is perfect, even if my speech is rough. My heart's translation will always be enough. Languages have limitations. Words can never quite capture the full meaning. Feelings burning bright, but my truth doesn't need it translation or refinement. It's authentic and it's real. It's my deepest alignment. I might stumble on the words, I might say things wrong, but the meaning underneath has been there all along. My sincerity transcends any language barrier. My truth needs no translator. It's the real carrier. Accepting that I'm imperfect in expression, but perfect in my mind. About what matters most, my love is genuine. Even if I can't translate it perfectly within. Perfect words,
You need my perfect heart.
you don't need flawless language.
You need me from the start.
To be honest, to be real, to show up as I am. My truth is untranslatable, but it's my perfect plan. Maybe that's what matters, not the perfection of speech, but the authenticity of what I'm trying to teach. My love doesn't need to be eloquently phrased. It needs to be genuine, and that's where it's glazed. There's no perfect translation, but there's perfect sincerity. There's no flawless language, but there's flawless clarity of intention, of emotion, of everything I feel. My imperfect words carry something real. So I'm accepting that I won't say it right, but I'll say it with my whole heart burning bright. My truth doesn't need translation or refinement. It needs authenticity, and that's my alignment. I don't need perfect words,
I need perfect honesty.
I don't need flawless phrases.
I need genuine modesty.
About my limitations, but confidence in my core. My sincerity is perfect, even if my speech is poor. Maybe that's the lesson that languages can't teach. That perfect translation isn't what we need to reach. We need perfect intention, perfect honesty, perfect care. My imperfect words words, but my perfect gift. I might never find the words that are just right, but my truth is perfect, and that's my guiding light. No perfect translation could ever capture this, but my perfect sincerity is my perfect bliss. So there's my perfect translation. There's no perfect translation, but there's perfect truth. My sincerity needs no words. My heart speaks what's true. There's no perfect translation, but there's perfect truth. No words in any language, but perfect in you. There's no perfect translation, but there's perfect sincerity. My words may be flawed, but my truth is clarity. I didn't realize it until just now. My heart's subtitles have been following you somehow. Every word you spoke had my interpretation below. Every movement you made had my heart translating the show. I was always reading the deeper meaning of you. My heart was always captioning everything you do. I didn't know I was doing it, but now it's crystal clear. My subtitles have been tracking you all this time, all this year. I think about the way I've been watching you move, how my heart has been writing captions to prove that every gesture means something, every silence is more. My heart's been following your story like before, even when I wasn't consciously aware. My subtitles kept scrolling through the actions you share. You were the movie and my heart was the guide, translating every frame, every moment you've tried. I think about the subtlety of this constant translation, how my heart has been creating this narration of your story, your journey, your life as you live. My subtitles been faithful to everything you give it. It's like I've been watching your entire film unfold, and my heart's been narrating the story untold. Every scene, every moment has had my interpretation. My heart's subtitles have been your narration. Maybe that's what love is, being someone's subtitle, always translating what they say in title. My heart has been faithful to reading your life, understanding your depths through your joy and your strife. You were never aware that I was reading so deep, that my heart was writing captions while you sleep, that every action you took had my heart's translation, my subtitles following your constant narration. So now I understand why I know you so well, because my heart's been reading the story you tell. Now
not just with your words, but with everything you are. My subtitles have been following you like a star. I've been your translator all along without knowing. My heart's been your narrator, constantly showing the depth and the beauty of who you truly are. My subtitles been faithful, following afar. Maybe that's why leaving feels like losing the script, losing the movie that my heart had equipped to understand and interpret every moment with you. My subtitles were faithful in everything I knew. Your heart's loyal transcriber. My subtitles kept rolling for every moment. A scriber of your life, your emotions, your journey, your pain. My heart's been following again and again. So my heart's subtitles have always followed you. Ooh. My heart's subtitles always followed you. Reading every moment, every move, translating your life, understanding you true. My heart's subtitles always followed you. Faithful narrator of your days. My heart was always following in countless ways. Ooh. My heart's subtitles were always with you, translating your story in everything I knew.
Hey.
You keep trying to explain, keep searching for the words. You think your love needs justification, that it needs to be heard. But you don't understand that I already know. Your love isn't proved by explanation, it's proved by what you show. Stop explaining who you are, stop defending what you feel. Your love doesn't need translation, your actions make it real. The way you show up for me, the way you simply stay, that's the language of your love more than anything you say. I watched you struggle, trying to express what's true, searching for the perfect words to convince me of you. But love isn't an argument that needs to be explained. It's the things that you keep doing through the sunshine and the rain. Your presence is your proof, your loyalty is clear. The way you choose me over and over, year after year. You don't need to convince me of what I already see, that your love is real in everything you do for me. I think about the worry in your eyes when you try to explain what you're feeling, like you have something to deny. But there's nothing you need to prove, no argument to make. Your love is evident in every choice you take. The way you listen when I break, the way you hold me when I fall, the way you stay when others leave. That's your love, that's all. You don't need words to convince me. Your actions speak so clear. The language of your presence is what I long to hear. Yeah. Maybe that's the flaw in how we think of love. We think it needs an explanation, like something from above. But love is in the staying, in the showing up each day, in the quiet consistency of choosing to stay. You're always trying to articulate what should be felt instead. Your love doesn't need a dissertation, it's written in your thread of loyalty and presence, of sacrifice and care. Your love is proved not by your words, but by the fact that you're there. So stop explaining yourself, stop searching for the phrase that will make me understand your love in all its ways. I already know you love me, I see it every day, in the small things that matter, and everything you do not say. Your love is in your actions, your devotion is so clear. The way you prioritize me, that's what I need to hear. Not words of explanation, but the proof of your stay. Your love is demonstrated in how you choose me day to day. Maybe that's the greatest proof that love is truly real, when someone stops explaining and just lets you feel. Your presence is your statement, your consistency is your vow. You don't need to justify your love, it's evident right now. I don't need you to explain or defend what you feel. Your love is proved by remaining, by being what is real. The way you show up for me, the way you never leave, that's all the explanation that I will ever need. So picture, proved by words. Yeah. Love isn't proved by words, it's proved by what you show, by the way you stay, by the things you know. Love isn't proved by words, it's in your presence clear, in your loyalty, in your staying near. Love isn't 𝐕𝐸ₐ. Your presence is enough. Staying is a statement I trust. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Trying to explain, keep searching for the words. You think your love needs justification, that it needs to be heard. But you don't understand that I already know. Your love isn't proved by explanation, it's proved by what you show. Stop explaining who you are. Stop defending what you feel. Your love doesn't need translation. Your actions make it real. The way you show up for me, the way you simply stay, that's the language of your love, more than anything you say. I watched you struggle, trying to express what's true, searching for the perfect words to convince me of you. But love isn't an argument that needs to be explained. It's the things that you keep doing through the sunshine and the rain. Your presence is your proof. Your loyalty is clear. The way you choose me over and over, year after year. You don't need to convince me of what I already see, that your love is real in everything you do for me. I think about the worry in your eyes when you try to explain what you're feeling, like you have something to deny. But there's nothing you need to prove, no argument to make. Your love is evident in every choice you take. The way you listen when I break, the way you hold me when I fall, the way you stay when others leave, that's your love, that's all. You don't need words to convince me. Your actions speak so clear. The language of your presence is what I long to hear. Maybe that's the flaw in how we think of love. We think it needs an explanation, like something from above. But love is in the staying, in the showing up each day, in the quiet consistency of choosing to stay. You're always trying to articulate what should be felt instead. Your love doesn't need a dissertation. It's written in your thread of loyalty and presence, of sacrifice and care. Your love is proved not by your words, but by the fact that you're there. Smooth. Ooh. So stop explaining yourself. Stop searching for the phrase that will make me understand your love in all its ways. I already know you love me. I see it every day, in the small things that matter, in everything you do not say. Your love is in your actions. Your devotion is so clear. The way you prioritize me, that's what I need to hear. Not words of explanation, but the proof of your stay. Your love is demonstrated in how you choose me day to day. Maybe that's the greatest proof that love is truly real, when someone stops explaining and just lets you feel. Your presence is your statement. Your consistency is your vow. You don't need to justify your love. It's evident right now. I don't need you to explain or defend what you feel. Your love is proved by remaining, by being what is real. The way you show up for me, the way you never leave, that's all the explanation that I will ever need. So love isn't proved by words. Oh, oh. Love isn't proved by words. It's proved by what you show, by the way you stay, by the things you know. Love isn't proved by words. It's in your presence, clear, in your loyalty, in your staying near. Oh, 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 oh. I've been home. By explanation, your presence is enough. Your staying is the statement I trust. I used to fear that you wouldn't understand, that you'd miss all the things I was trying to say. I was terrified of your blindness, of being invisible in every way. But now that fear has shifted to something far more deep, I'm afraid you know me too well, and that scares me in my sleep. You've learned to read my silence, you understand my pain. You see through all my defenses like you're reading my brain. And instead of feeling safer, I feel more exposed than before. You know all of my secrets, and that terrifies me to my core. I remember when I wanted, yeah, you to see all of me. I beg for your understanding, yeah, for you to finally see. But now that you see it, yeah, everything I tried to hide, yeah, I'm panicking about what happens if you don't like what's inside. You know me without filters, without any protective shell. You've memorized my patterns, my fears where I dwell. And the terror isn't rejection, it's something so much more. It's that you know me completely, and I can't hide anymore. Think about the vulnerability of being fully known, of having someone see every part I've sown, in darkness and shame, in the places I keep locked. You've opened every door inside, and my heart is completely shocked. You read me like a language that you spent years to learn. You understand my subtext, every twist and every turn. And the fear isn't that you'll leave, it's that you'll stay and see all the broken parts inside that make up me. Maybe that's the deepest fear, not being unknown but known, being seen in your presence all the way to the bone. I wanted you to understand, but understanding is exposure. You see my weaknesses now, and I've lost my closure. I'm terrified that you'll realize that I'm not as strong as I seem, that you'll see my insecurities, the nightmares I've dreamed. You know me too well now, and that's my greatest fear. Not invisibility, but visibility in a way I can't steer. So I'm asking you silently, please don't use what you know. Don't see me too clearly, yeah. Don't let my darkness show, yeah. You understand me so deeply, yeah, in ways I never wanted, yeah. You know my every weakness, yeah. And now I'm haunted, yeah, by the fact that you see me, ooh, completely and with grace, yeah, yeah. That you know all my secrets, yeah, yeah. And you haven't changed your face, hey. But the terror remains, that one day you will, that you'll realize I'm broken and you won't want me still. Maybe
Maybe that's what intimacy is, the ultimate vulnerability. Being known so completely that you lose all ability to hide from someone's gaze, to protect yourself from sight. You know me too well now, and that's my deepest fright. I wanted to be understood, but understanding came with cost. The cost of being exposed, of having nowhere to be lost. You see all of my shadows, all of my hidden shame, and now I'm terrified that you'll never be the same. So now I'm afraid you know me too well. Now I'm afraid you know me too well. You see through all my masks, all my defenses are falling. You've answered all my asks, now I'm afraid you know me too well. Being known is my greatest fear, not rejection, but understanding that you see me crystal clear. Yeah. Now I'm afraid, genuinely complete. I wanted to be seen, but the terror is real. Now that you understand my scene.
If love is a translation, then let me start with you. Let me translate your sadness into something you can move through. I don't want you to suffer alone in a language nobody speaks. I want to understand your pain and translate it into peace. Your grief has its own dialect. Your hurt has its own sound. But you shouldn't have to carry your sadness alone underground. Let me be a translator of the things you cannot say. Let me turn your broken language into something that can stay. I've watched you suffer silently, speaking in a tongue unknown. Your pain in a foreign language that you've had to speak alone. But if love is a translation, then I'm committing to learn every word of your sorrow, every way your heartbeat turns. You don't have to be fluent in explaining what you feel. Let me decode your silence, let me help you heal. Your loneliness has a voice, even when you're quiet and still. And I want to translate it into something beautiful. I think about the burden of carrying pain alone, of speaking in a language that you've never fully known. But I'm learning your sorrow, word by broken word. I'm becoming fluent in your pain, so you know you're being heard. Your sadness doesn't need to be hidden or concealed. Let me translate it gently into something healed. I wanna be the voice that understands your cry, the translator of your tears, the reason you don't have to try. Maybe that's what love is, being someone's translator, not just of joy and laughter, but of pain and disaster. I'm learning all your languages, the ones you speak in dark, and I'm translating them to light, so you can find your mark. Your hurt has words I'm learning, your grief has a syntax new, but I'm dedicated to fluency in understanding you. Let me carry half the weight of the things you cannot say. Let me translate your sadness into a brighter day. So I'm becoming your translator of the language that you speak. When you're struggling and suffering and you can barely keep going through the motions, let me translate it all. Let me be the one who understands when you're about to fall. I wanna know your sadness in every dialect and form. I wanna translate your loneliness into something safe and warm. Your pain deserves a voice, your grief deserves to be heard, and I'm committing to translate every single word. Maybe that's the greatest love, not just celebrating the light, but learning someone's darkness and making sure they're alright. I'm your translator of sorrow, your interpreter of pain. I'm learning your language so you don't suffer in vain. Your sadness is a language that deserves to be understood, and I'm here to translate it into something good. Not erasing what you feel, but honoring every tear. I'm translating your heartbreak into knowing someone's here. If love is a translation, then I'm learning every part of the language of your sorrow, of the grammar of your heart. You won't read your pain alone, you won't speak your hurt unseen. I'm your devoted translator of every space between. I'm becoming fluent in your silence, in the things you cannot say. I'm translating your lonelies into knowing I'll stay. Your sadness is my language that I'm choosing to learn, and I promise you this, you're never alone when I turn. So if love is a translation, oh, if love is translation, I wanna be fluent in your pain. Translate your sadness so you're never alone again. If love is translation, then I'm learning a language you create. I'm becoming your voice, translating your release. If love is translation, I'm learning 𝐕𝐞𝐥𝐯𝐞𝐭, your sadness, your pain, translating your sadness so you're never alone in your veins.